Today I'll be talking about my personal experiences with taking a break from social media and how that affected my personal style. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Jemi, and I make all sorts of fashion content ranging from outfit ideas to style analysis videos, such as this Breakfast at Tiffany's one I made most recently. So if you like fashion and you're looking to find or improve your personal style, stick around. So for context, for the past few months, I was on a break from social media. I was preparing to move out of New York City and things got kind of stressful and hectic, as they always do with a move. Eventually, I even began getting anxiety from just staring at my YouTube scripts, and I thought, this is not healthy, because I've never had that anxiety before. And with regards to my personal style, eventually I started feeling like I never had the right pieces for my wardrobe to feel complete. My personal style was pretty lost to me, and I felt like I didn't quite have an understanding of it the way I used to. So I deleted all the apps off of my phone and decided to focus on the more pressing matters at hand. Fast forward to now, it's been a few months and I'm finally back in a new apartment with a new haircut. So I wanted to tell you guys of the changes that happened during my absence from social media, as well as the changes that came when I got back on social media again. When I took a break from Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, and YouTube, especially on the fashion side, I started noticing that I felt better about the clothes I already own. I didn't have this forceful need to always dress up when I leave the house, and I also started prioritizing comfort over dressing up pretty. Also, since I've moved, my style has gravitated to a more artsy, relaxed look, while still maintaining some of the girly elements. A part of the reason why is because I started working retail this summer, and so all of my more revealing and experimental clothes stay in the closet half of the time. It does, however, make wearing my girly outfits that much more enjoyable when I dress up to go somewhere outside of work. I don't know, I just feel cute when I go outside. I don't know, just extra cute, because I don't get to be that cute at work. Now, I must admit, it was really hard to resist the temptation of doom scrolling for hours, especially for the first few weeks, and sometimes I did it and I had to cut myself off, but I noticed that this doom scrolling affected my mood negatively. Eventually, though, when I did distance myself from social media, I noticed that I was giving my brain and attention span the time and space that it needed to relax, and so I was relaxed. And all of this affected my personal style because I felt like I wasn't externally pressured to dress a certain way or buy anything. One of the first changes that happened was that it became clear to me what types of clothes I was avoiding and what I was gravitating towards. I did a huge closet clean out upon moving out by selling or donating my clothes, and I actually still have a pile of clothes that I need to put on for sale or donate at the local thrift stores. And it was easier to start distinguishing between what I thought I like and what I actually like, especially clothes that are on others and not on me. I feel like I often can think, hey, that person looks really pretty and it looks good on them, but it doesn't necessarily look good on me and I don't necessarily like it on me. So there's that little distinguishing factor of, does it look good on me or do I just like it on that other person? And that has started coming back to me. I feel like with all the influencing these days as well, it's just so easy to feel like you have to like whatever is presented to you online, and it is hard to say no, especially when you keep getting repeated exposure of stuff that you're supposed to like or you're supposed to buy or you're supposed to dress in. And now I just feel like I'm so much more relaxed about that. I don't have to do what everybody else is doing or follow the trends that people are following. Heck, I don't even know what trends are going on. Like, I have not been paying attention at all. And upon not participating in consumer culture or whatever was trending in the fashion world, I started wearing clothes that I felt were resonating with me the most in my day-to-day life. And this, to my surprise, also includes the more indie or tomboyish outfits that I used to wear all the time when I was a teenager. I feel like my more androgynous looks are having a comeback, especially since my hair is now a lot shorter than it used to be. I feel like I gave my personal style a reset without having to spend any extra money or effort by the simple use of removing external influences. And by the way, if you do want to know more about the difference between trendy style and personal style, I do have an entire video on it that you can watch right here. Another change is that I began to naturally find new ways to style what I already own, and I started outfit repeating in ways I hadn't thought of before. Suddenly, I felt like I had an abundance of clothes. In fact, I feel like I have too many clothes, especially since we've moved to this new apartment and I don't really have any closet space. I knew I didn't use all of these clothes every day, so why do I have so much? With this feeling came the stop of shopping. Apart from some thrifting, I didn't shop at all, especially online. This next change completely eradicated my interest in Pinterest for a while. Any external inspiration that I got was from seeing other people on the street. For example, I recently saw this woman in her 50s or 60s who was wearing a beret, a blazer, and a skirt, and she looked fabulous and I felt so inspired. She was colorful but not in your face, and it made me think, how can I style my blazers differently? It's actually fun looking at inspiration from other people, and even though we live in a place where a lot of people dress in similar ways, I do still see a lot of university students and alternatively dressed people, and there's just a lot of variety and inspiration. Now here's a change that's not surprising. I began to think of my style more practically, and I also started having a healthier outlook on myself. Over the course of winter, I gained a lot of weight because I was eating dessert after every single meal and not working out. I eventually became pretty insecure about it and didn't feel good in any of the clothes I wore, and seeing these skinny, filter-perfect people online certainly didn't help with my self-esteem. Eventually, all the self-loathing and comparing myself with people online was the fundamental reason why I left social media for a while. And with that choice also came the choice to change my diet and my exercise routines. I replaced doom scrolling with a 1-hour morning workout and slowly but surely started working on my weight goals to feel healthy and strong again. Back then I also began dressing in ways that made me feel good even when I was heavier, because I don't really believe in hurting ourselves by dressing in clothes that we don't like or feel good or comfortable in. You should not be hurting yourself when you feel bad, you should be helping yourself. I swear we humans are so complicated, because if this was my friend, of course, I would never beat her down when she's already on the ground. But when it's me, I'm like, oh my goodness, I must punish myself for feeling like crap. I hate how our brains are wired. I've had to work so hard to rewire my brain. Anyways, what this meant was wearing more baggy clothes, stretchy waistbands, and not really wearing dresses at all during that time. It's really difficult to reset one's own way of thinking about themselves, but putting in the conscious effort to not compare yourself to everybody else and also liking things unique just to you really helps. Like, for example, I really like my jawline and I really like my shoulder blades, and I'm gonna focus on the things that I like, not the things that I hate about myself, which, like, for both things, I feel like I have a long list, and I'm gonna choose the list that is positive. Also relating to an earlier topic, ever since I took a break from social media, I saw real people in the real world. It's so refreshing because there are no filters and less makeup and less plastic surgery and more authentic people of different sizes and shapes and height. It is so refreshing to see different kinds of people. And through seeing all of these different kinds of people, I feel like it's okay for me to just be me too. Especially now that skinny people are trending again, from what I've gathered, I feel like it is just so refreshing to see not super skinny like 35-kilogram models all the time. It's just nice to see people who are different, wearing different styles, having different interests. It is so nice to see variety, and I just feel so bad for society because we are taught that whatever we see online is what we are supposed to look like and how we are supposed to perceive ourselves and others. And this is not as related to my personal style, but ever since I moved away from New York City, I feel less claustrophobic going outside because I'm not surrounded by 500 people every time I go out. So I'm actually moving more, I'm exercising, and I've already lost a little bit of weight. I eat a little healthier, I work out more, and I'm trying to set some routines to help myself feel better and look better and just overall be healthy, because I am reaching my 30s and I'm realizing that yes, health issues need to be taken seriously. I see myself in a better light right now, but that of course is still very much work in progress because of employment and capital anxiety, which has me on edge at all times. Yay! I love being an adult. Overall though, I feel like I've really enjoyed my own personal style and the clothes that fit me and not me fitting into clothes. These days I don't wear anything that hurts or restricts me or makes me feel bad, and honestly that's a great thing. Also, hand in hand with my personal style, I am working on having a healthier and more balanced life, which as we all know, life is not very balanced, so it's always out of whack. And now let us look at some of the biggest changes that have come with me using social media again. Now that I'm back on Instagram and YouTube, I am noticing myself looking at online shopping. I haven't had a need or want to shop at almost the entire summer, and now it's coming back to me. Suddenly, I am missing key pieces, and yes, I do actually have some pieces that I am missing from my closet, like a gray skirt, but now I'm also wanting trendy things like bloomer shorts, which I didn't think about at all even once during the summer. I'm screenshotting and saving outfit inspo and clothing items, and I am struggling not to consume. I've already shopped a little bit in the form of thrifting and online shopping, though I am trying not to do that. And also, now that I'm back, I'm noticing that a lot of people are actually lacking a personal style. Instead, they are latching onto certain aesthetics or styles such as indie, coquette, or tweed, or they hop from one trend to another and are quick to refer to their clothes from less than a year ago as their old style. The thing is, personal style doesn't change that fast. It's pretty consistent with how you've almost always preferred or wanted to dress. I will talk about this more in a future video though, because I am interested in the link between your childhood likes and interests with your adult style. I think those two things have a very strong link, and I want to explore that more in another video. So right now in this moment, I am definitely more chronically online, like 8 hours a day chronically online, which is not great. The reason is I am posting more content again, and I'm also keeping an eye out for any of the content trends that are going on. I'm seeing so many cute outfits online, but I do still wonder how many of these creators have their own curated personal style, or are a lot of them just doing whatever is trending right now and then moving on to the next thing. But yeah, I really miss my books and sitting outside and watching the sunset and not scrolling on my phone. I am on my phone way too much, and it is scarily addicting, so I think I'm gonna limit my screen time again. Here's a flip side change that I didn't expect to say in this video. I did miss looking at fashion inspiration online. It feels like a double-edged sword because seeing how other people style and layer their outfits feeds my creativity, but also if they're wearing something that personally strikes me as beautiful, suddenly I must have that item. Like right now, it's this Ming London skirt that I absolutely cannot afford with my current pay. Another less happy change is that I do get that sense of not being enough lurking in the back of my mind again. This applies for looks, content creation, and fashion. I see all of these other creators making amazing but also maybe a little bit extra content, and it's gorgeous to look at, but I struggle not comparing myself with them. Finding that happy medium where I allow myself to be inspired by other people's work without critiquing myself is very difficult. And here's the change that I expected the least, is that I actually miss the YouTube side of content creation, especially in fashion. Considering that I literally had anxiety looking at my own YouTube scripts and I couldn't look at anybody else's videos because I was just always comparing myself to them and feeling like absolute shit about my own content and about my own fashion, I have done a complete U-turn. I feel like compared to other social media platforms though, YouTube is less consumeristic and a little bit more down to earth. I've especially been enjoying watching lifestyle and fashion videos from a slower paced and sustainable angle. It just feels a little bit more authentic than the other platforms because it's less about trying to capture your attention every second for 5 seconds, and it's more about the overall content and the quality of the content. For example, I just subscribed to a 40-year-old YouTuber who just started YouTube, and I've really been enjoying seeing her like slower paced vlogs where she talks about these experiences of like starting over when you're older and what that feels like. Then there's also Frisia Park, who's navigating life at 29 after some major life changes and starting all over again. And the most recent video that I just watched and felt very inspired by was by Kotono Grace, and it was this video where she talks about the accessories and clothes that her mom has been making for her, and it was just so cute seeing how her mom shows her love through making these clothes. In conclusion, I think I just miss social media for what it was a few years back or even a decade ago. I think it was less performative and more authentic. It was about like the breakfast pictures that you took or like the nature scene or like a cute little outfit. It wasn't curated. It wasn't aesthetics. It wasn't so hyper specific, so filter perfect. It was what it was. And we all just were fine with it. We couldn't invest in fast fashion or micro trends the way we do now, and overall, I think the world just moved at a pleasantly slower pace. I think while I do see a lot of cool and inspiring content these days, my brain just gets so tired from media consumption and just overconsumption in general. I'm just very sick of consumer culture personally, and I am very ready to have a peaceful life where I don't have to think about all the things I need to buy, which I can't afford anyway for the matter, so case in point, I'm very lucky to be hearing birdsong outside of my home. New York City was so loud and crowded, and all I could see was brick walls, and all I could hear was crazy people, drunk people, or traffic. So I'm very grateful to be where I am right now, a little closer to nature, in a much more peaceful place. Just brings my mind a lot of peace too. And I also don't have that need to escape to social media because I have nature right outside. And I think while I navigate my journey as a fashion content creator, I do also want to focus my time away from it too. I want to use that time on other things like reading books, going on walks, and learning to crochet, which, yes, I am starting that journey now too. Very happy and excited about that. So if you have any crochet tips or YouTube channels that you recommend, please let me know in the comments. And that's it for all the changes. I hope this video has helped you take a step back from the online world that you're probably already very immersed in. And hopefully some of the discoveries that I've made will help you feel inspired to also take a step back and rediscover yourself and your personal style as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.